everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Olivia here with Olivia's Romantic Home, and in today's video I am so excited to share with you 6 DIY Dollar Tree decor crafts. So this is another episode in my huge I Love Fall series. I love to share with you guys how you can make your homes boutique gorgeous on a teeny tiny budget. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below to enter my latest giveaway. There will be details down below for you guys, but let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, I want to take this puppy training pad box from my new puppy, and also I'm going to take this pumpkin patch sign from the Dollar Tree Farmers Market calendar. I'm also going to take some white spray paint and just go ahead and spray paint the entire box white. And once that is done and it's all dry, I'm going to take some Mod Podge and apply a really generous layer of Mod Podge over the entire box. I get so sloppy with my Mod Podge, you guys. I have no idea why. Now I have to give credit to Barb from the Shabby Tree. I saw her do this on her page and it was so cool. I have been wanting to do a fall Christmas tree. This is actually the first fall Christmas tree I'll ever do. So what we're going to create here with this box is a Christmas tree base, and you can use the pumpkin patch sign on one side, and then she suggested to flip it around and use the little Christmas tree calendar sign on the other side. So you're going to put a generous layer of Mod Podge down and then lay your little sign down and then put another layer down. Now I will tell you that there are going to be some wrinkles in this project, so take a deep breath. It's not the end of the world. It's still going to look super cute even if it does have a little bit of imperfections. The other thing you guys can think about, if you cannot find the Market Fresh calendar, you could just use some pretty paper from your Hobby Lobby or maybe another calendar. I actually had some striped paper laying around and I didn't have the exact same one to match this side, so I ended up using a different pattern for the other side. So just have fun with this, you guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're basically just recovering a cardboard box. I love to find ways to repurpose and reuse, and how fabulous is this? And thank you, Barb from the Shabby Tree, for giving me this amazing idea. Now I'm going to take this Christmas tree that I got at the thrift store for $5 last year, and it hadn't been pulled out of its box, so it did need a bit of fluffing, and I was really disappointed because the lights did not work, but I persevered. Comment and let me know if you guys ever get a little frustrated when you're doing crafts. So I ended up popping that into the little box here, and I'm going to share with you guys how we're going to decorate this fall Christmas tree. Again, this is my first fall Christmas tree, and I did have to retrain my thinking a little bit to decorate a fall tree. It would seem easy, but it actually wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. So I'm starting out with some Dollar Tree deco mesh, and I'm using this kind of brown color, and I'm going to end up using, I believe, 2 rolls of deco mesh on the tree. And what I'm doing is I'm just cascading the mesh down the tree and then pulling it out in kind of 8 to 10 inch kind of like little bubbly loops. Now my tree was wobbly because if you use a 12 by 12 box, you should be able to stand your tree stand down inside of it, but mine did not. So I just added some fabric around the base of it and I carried on. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that when you're doing this mesh, it doesn't have to be perfect. So you just want to kind of loop it in, and it's going to give your tree some fullness. So give yourself some grace, have fun with this, and really you can revamp any little thrift store tree. And as you guys can see by the end, once you see the end of this, we are going to cover the entire tree anyway. So I'm going to add lights later once I fill my little Dollar Tree lights with some batteries. And see, you guys can see here's the other side where the little Farm Fresh Christmas tree sign is. How adorable is that going to be for Christmas? Now I'm taking some of this burlap fabric, and I get all of my burlap from burlapfabric.com. I love these big rolls. I'm going to leave a $5 off coupon down below. It's Olivia 2020 for burlapfabric.com if you guys want to use burlap from them. Otherwise, you can find burlap at Walmart or even order some online at Hobby Lobby. So check the description box below of this video, and then I'm just going to trim it off. So what I'm doing here is I'm just cascading these giant pieces of burlap down the tree. So wherever I kind of didn't have the deco mesh, I'm just kind of weaving that in and around. And I'm not tying this on. I'm just using the Christmas tree branches and crossing them over on themselves to kind of hold this in. So that's just a little tip. If you guys feel like you need to use a floral wire or a pipe cleaner, by all means, secure it in there really well. It is going to stay up probably in my studio on this little stand, although it came out so super adorable. I'm thinking about moving it into my house. So anyway, you guys, I have just been having so much fun decorating with you guys and crafting with you guys. And I did end up adding burlap all around the entire tree. And then I did just do one little small loop here at the base just to kind of fill it out. I also like to dovetail my ends by cutting a triangle in an upwards direction. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to make a super adorable fall Christmas tree topper. So I'm taking my easy bow maker and I'm just going to add a pipe cleaner at the very base. And I got my easy bow maker off of Amazon, but you guys can find them at the craft store and use your coupon. So now I'm just going to take my ribbon, and I love the easy bow maker because it measures directly across. So it helps me have more, symmetrical bows, I guess. But I have a great bow video that I'll link in my description box for you guys. If you don't have one of these, never fear. I have a super amazing, easy one that I shared with you guys today on my Facebook, and I'll also link in the description box below of this video. So I just went about 7 to 8 inches across on my ribbon loops. Now, this ribbon from Dollar Tree with the little red trucks is so adorable, and I thought it would be perfect mixed in with the buffalo check for a really fun and fabulous fall tree. Now, this orange plaid ribbon or buffalo check ribbon I actually found at Michael's, but Dollar Tree has been putting out the cutest ribbon this season. Oh my goodness. And again, I'm just measuring about 7 inches across, and then you shove it down into your little easy bow maker. These are 2 little prongs, and it just holds the bow, which I love. I have neuropathy in my hands, so it's such a great big helper for me. This ribbon is super adorable. I found it on Amazon, and this was the last one I decided to use. Now, hindsight 2020 with this bow, I went a little crazy with patterns and colors, but I was able to make it all work with all of the different colors that I used in my Christmas tree, and you guys will see how that all comes together at the end. So bear with me if you think this bow is a little wild. Now I'm taking my pipe cleaner and I'm just going to pipe cleaner my bow all together, twist it around, and then leave the pipe cleaners at the back of it because we are going to tie this on to the top of our Christmas tree. Now, don't forget to give your bow a good old-fashioned fluffing. That is the secret to all my bows, is I really fluff them and pull the loops out quite a bit. Now, I'm just tying this on to the very top of my Christmas tree, and then as you can see, I'm really pulling these loops out and fluffing them. I don't want any of the pretty ribbon to get lost, and I also want to make sure that it's nice and full and fluffy, and that's what's going to give your bow a boutique finish. The next thing I want to do is take this string of Dollar Tree leaf garland, and I'm just going to loop it in to some of the areas where there's no deco mesh, and I'm going to do about 3 to 4 of the Dollar Tree garlands, just kind of cascade them down your tree. You could also just use some fall leaf picks. That would work as well. Again, I do love to go really over the top with my decor, but if any point you guys feel like it's too much, you can always stop and just be pleased with your work there. But I do love that really full boutique look. I also am pushing myself to use what I have this week in my crafting stash. I have a lot of fall stuff, and so I want to pull everything out and put as much on this tree, because my idea actually is if I'm crafting and I need something off the fall tree, I'm just going to pull that off. Now I'm picking in some of those little Dollar Tree burlap leaves, and then the next thing I wanted to do was put this cute little Harvest Dollar Tree wooden plaque sign on here. And I did play around with a lot of the decor. I put this white sign on here initially. I eventually took it off. I also tried out these smaller Dollar Tree pre-made bows, and again, I did end up taking those off. Something about them, I just didn't care for them, but they probably would be cute. Once I was editing this video, I thought, oh, those actually looked pretty cute. But I'm kind of a crazy person when I'm decorating a Christmas tree, and I dance around, and I really like to go back and forth, just just to see what I absolutely love. So I wanted to make this a little bit more bold with oranges, and I believe that's why I took those off. So now I'm just taking some Dollar Tree picks and I'm adding them to the top of the tree. I'm basically just shoving them into the top. Normally when I do a really big tree, this tree was actually only like a 4-foot tree, I believe. But normally when I do a really big tree, I will take wire and I will wire around the top of that, but they seem to stay really well. The next thing I wanted to do was just add in some little pumpkin picks and some additional ribbon with the little pumpkins on it to pull that into the bow tree topper. And here is the finished project, the finished fall Christmas tree, my first time ever taking the plunge. I added in some more little fun like Dollar Tree sunflowers and some of these little Dollar Tree wooden cutouts that I had decoupage some Mackenzie Childs inspired paper onto. We did that in another DIY. You guys go check out my huge I Love Fall playlist. I'm going to link it for you in the description box below because we have done so many fun and fabulous DIYs. Here is like a cascading version down, and I am going to share with you guys how to do these little decoupage Mackenzie Childs inspired napkin pumpkins. Oh my goodness. I think I will do a fall tree from here on out. This was so fun. The only drawback, of course, is that it doesn't light up, but again, I am going to add some pretty lights into it. Maybe even I'll splurge and order some of those fairy lights that are really pretty and twinkling off of Amazon. Thank you, Barb, for encouraging me to put up a tree. Okay, I have to know if you guys are going to put up a tree. So comment down below if you're going to go crazy, pull out a little mini tree and just have fun with it. If you guys have been crafting along with me, you may have a little bit of stuff in your craft stash. Another thing that I think is going to be fun is I think I'm going to do like a Halloween tree, a not so spooky Halloween tree. You guys know I love to do like little happy things for Halloween, just little funsy things. So, but I am crushing on this Harvest Beautiful Bounty tree. I think that's a great name for it. What do you guys think about that? Comment and let me know what you think and if you'll be doing one of these. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to take one of these Boo witch hat wreaths and I want to share with you guys how to do a burlap scarecrow wreath. So I'm going to remove all of the tinsel off of this Boo hat wreath, and then I am going to take some of this burlap. Again, I get all of my burlap from burlapfabric.com. Use the $5 off coupon Olivia 2020 if you guys want to. Otherwise, you can grab some at Walmart or any of your local craft stores. I'm going to use a pipe cleaner my burlap to the top and then just twist it around my little hat. I also cut off the little prongs that were on either side of my witch hat, and that way they weren't troublesome on there or sticking out. It's really maybe not necessary, but I think it just gives a little bit of a cleaner look. So once I get to the bottom of my little scarecrow hat, I am going to take another pipe cleaner and just pipe cleaner that on to the edge of the scarecrow hat. This is super easy, and again, you guys can customize this to suit whatever decor you're working with. Now I'm going to take some of these pipe cleaners and just cut them in half. For this project, you don't really need full-size pipe cleaners, so that will save you on some of your pipe cleaners. I'm also going to make 8-inch cuts of my burlap. So I'm just taking my burlap and making 8-inch cuts. And what I want to do is I want to create just kind of a little burlap poof ruffle. I experimented with this. At first, I thought I was going to do 3 pieces of burlap, but I ended up just doing 2 per bundle. So the other thing I want to use is this beautiful fall. It's kind of like a tulle. And this is from Dollar Tree, but it has the most beautiful pattern on it. And I've been racking my brain on how I wanted to use this. So the first try on this bundle, I did just 2 pieces of burlap, and then I did 2 of the beautiful lace tulle. Now make these however you want, but this seemed to be really nice. It gave me a really full wreath. And I am going to use a pipe cleaner, and I'm going to pinch my little center point together here. And then I'm just going to pipe cleaner this together and that's going to give you your first bundle. Now I have shared with you guys how to do a deco mesh scarecrow wreath, but I wanted to do something even just a little bit more different by using the burlap, and I felt like the leaves were really elegant. It almost gave me the feel of being less of like a scarecrow wreath and more of a Thanksgiving hat wreath. I also had some of you all ask if you guys could make this into a cornucopia, and by all means you definitely could. We may even do one of these. So now I'm just going to take my pipe cleaner and twist it on the very end of the hat. So for the smaller prongs on the hat, you're going to do about 2 to 3 bundles, and then you'll see there's some larger sections. You're going to want to do about 4 to 5 depending on how full you want it to look. The other thing I do is I alternate, and I do 2 on the top and then I do 2 in the center length. So I hope that gives you guys an idea of how to do your ruffles and your prongs. And now you guys can just see me kind of working where I'm beginning to make up my bundles. So that's the other thing, is I usually like to make up my bundles and try them out on my wreath. This might be something you guys want to do, and then once you see that it looks good and that bundle is going to work well, you can go ahead and pre-cut more bundles and get started having fun. You might want to put a fun show on, or even, you know, your favorite music, because the cutting of the bundles is a little bit tedious, but once you get them all ready to roll, you can just go for it. So have fun with it, take a deep breath, and make something gorgeous. Now for the next part of this DIY, I'm going to take some really beautiful Dollar Tree ribbon, and I want to make a really over-the-top bow. You guys know me, I love big bows, and I cannot lie. So I have my Scarecrow burlap kind of hat wreath all ready to roll over there on one side, and then I'm just going to take a pipe cleaner and my easy bow maker. I got this off of Amazon, but you can also find it at Michael's craft store. Use your 40% coupon, and trust me, you're going to get a better deal than I did off Amazon, but whatever floats your boat. Now, you know, once you learn more, you can do better. I didn't know that, and I bought this during the whole lockdown, and so I couldn't go anywhere anyway, and I wanted to try out this bow maker, and I've been hooked ever since. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to make about 7 to 8 inches on either side of my bow, and the bow maker has this little center thing that you just push your ribbon down into. It's so fabulous, and you don't even have to think about it, and it holds it right there together, which I love because I do have neuropathy in my fingers, or in my hands, and so it just helps me hold things better. And it also, I love that it has like the little measurements on either side. That's another good thing, because I have a tendency to kind of lose track on my bows, but I do have a bow video for you guys that shows like how to make an easy bow without a bow maker. So that's a really great one too. Whatever you guys are loving, you guys know recently I've been crushing on this one. So now I'm just going to add in some of this Dollar Tree orange ribbon. This was so pretty and sparkling, and I started out with a Dollar Tree fall leaf ribbon. Again, I want this to be really classy and elegant, so I'm really working towards doing something kind of more that you could use towards, you know, fall and Thanksgiving if you really love that harvest look. A lot of people have asked for some traditional stuff. I feel like this is like very traditional fall. Once I have that done, I'm going to use this Fall Blessings, and it says Harvest on this ribbon. This is also Dollar Tree. And again, I just go back and forth with my ribbon. It's about 7 inches on either side, and then you just pull the loop down. So you start out, you pull the loop down, and then you can cut upwards. Be careful of your little fingers and make that little triangle, and that's going to give you a really nice boutique finish on your bow. And just choose whatever ribbon makes you happy and whatever makes you smile, and it's going to go with your project. I wanted to add in some more of this orange because I felt like it would bring in those pretty leaves that are on the Dollar Tree tool. I just wanted it to really just be gorgeous, and so I'm using some of this really sparkling Dollar Tree ribbon, and I actually think this ribbon that's orange, I'm wondering if it may have been supposed to be for Halloween, because it almost looks like it has like a glittery sheen to it. The next ribbon I thought I was going to use was this Dollar Tree chevron ribbon, but I ended up just using some of the Dollar Tree polka dot ribbon. So this is just ribbon that they carry year round, and I'm just popping this in, and then I'm going to go back and forth making my loops, making it fabulous. And I think the polka dot was what I needed to bring in some whimsy, because even though I wanted to make it really elegant, I also wanted to make it pretty and whimsical. I attached the bow with the pipe cleaner on to my cute little wreath, and then I decided to take some of the extra ribbon and just make like kind of like a little scrunched up bow at the top. So I'm using some of the extra leftover ribbon. Keep that in mind. If you're doing one of these hats, you may want to save a little bit of extra ribbon just to make a doodly dad at the top, or this kind of like little funky bow here. And then you can add more goodies. I believe I ended up adding like a little pumpkin and some other fun treasures to the top just to top it off. And again, you guys can see the link down below to see more of these scarecrow hats and witches hats that I have done. Just different ideas. I just thought this would be so fun to share with you guys. I did make this for my studio, and the other one I made that had the little scarecrow on it, I made for my front door. And then I think I'll probably start making them for friends and family. A lot of you all ask what I do with my crafts. I have an attic and just a regular craft closet that I store things in. I also give away things to my friends and family just to kind of treat them. And then also don't forget to give your bow a really good fluffing. Here is how it looks in the corner of my studio. And when I say studio, this is still in my home. It's just a little corner of my garage that I actually painted and set up to give me the feeling of like having a real craft room. But really it's just a corner of my garage with some pretty curtains and a painted floor. So here's how it looks next to my darling little tree. Oh my goodness. Again, you guys, I'm just so crushing on this fall Christmas tree. Definitely going to be doing another one of these. I'm even strategizing now, how can I put this in my dining room and then do a big tree out in my studio? Oh my goodness. So fun and fabulous. And we did this all with Dollar Tree supplies and a little thrift store Christmas tree. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take these carvable Dollar Tree pumpkins and I'm going to remove the top, and what we're going to do is create a beautiful decoupage pumpkin. So I painted them white with just some basic chalk paint and I let that dry. The next step is to find a napkin and remove the white backing from your napkin, and then you can plan on using some Mod Podge or glue to attach it to your pumpkin. You could also even use a spray adhesive. I like Mod Podge, but use whatever suits your fancy and whatever you guys have in your stash. So I'm just taking a generous helping of Mod Podge and I'm going to run that all the way around my pumpkin. Once I had all the Mod Podge, I then began to apply the napkin, and I am going to tell you guys that doing a pumpkin, I definitely had some little wrinkles in it, but just trim it off, take a deep breath, add Mod Podge to the base, and then add it over the top. The other thing I recommend with this is to let your layers dry as you go. For this DIY, I was trying to work quickly so I could have it to share with you guys on this video, but it would have been lovely if I would have just done one section at a time and then patiently let it dry and then did another section, because my fingers had a tendency to kind of lift off some of the napkin on the other side. So just a little note, if you're doing this at home and you have the time to wait and let it dry, I also suggest to just use sections of the napkin. That seemed to work better. I tried one using the whole napkin, so hopefully you guys can learn from some of my trial and error, and you can tell I get pretty sloppy with my Mod Podge, but again, just have fun with it. This is just a fun little pumpkin. The other thing I did was I used some of the Dollar Tree wood pieces to make a little stem with, and I'm also thinking about maybe even painting those or adding a fun little jewel. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take some of these Dollar Tree wooden dowels and then just some of these cute little Dollar Tree gourds and pumpkins, and I'm going to take my scissors and poke a hole in the bottom of them, add some hot glue, and then push the dowel into it. This was the best way that I found to create a pumpkin pick for inexpensive, and I already had these dowels on hand. Dollar Tree is selling wooden dowels in their crafters square section, and then you can very easily pop these into your tree and they seem to stay. I tried to kind of just put them in earlier and they tend to roll off, but with these longer dowels they set perfectly into this 4-foot tree, and so that was a great solution for that. So that's just a little tip when you're adding some of these larger pumpkins. If you are doing a fall tree, I feel like you could also use shish kebab sticks. I didn't have those on hand, but I felt like those would have been a really great option, and probably you would even get more in a shish kebab stick. I believe they sell those at Dollar Tree too. So just keep that in mind if you're doing like a larger tree. This was only a 4-foot tree, so I may have to pick some of those up if I do a larger tree. So, oh my goodness, as always, I ask that you guys comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video. I so love to hear what your feedback is. It really helps me know what DIYs to plan for you all in the future. I just love to share with you guys how you can have a gorgeous home on a budget. And just because you maybe can't spend a ton of money doesn't mean you can't have boutique, beautiful decor. And when you craft, it is so good for your heart and soul, and it just makes things so lovely. And I just thank you all for being here. I love you all so, so much, and you're such a blessing to me. This little community is just amazing. So thank you guys again, and I will talk to you very soon. So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. I hope you all are totally inspired to get your craft and decorating adventure on. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below. I also have an Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook page. I post several DIY videos over there, as well as a group page. Now the group page is totally free to join. It is just a little community for everybody that loves to craft and decorate to share their photos and DIY projects over there. So all you guys have to do is request to join. I'll approve your request and you can post photos of your home decor and your DIY projects over there. And let me tell you, it is the sweetest little kindest community over there. It is just for crafting and decorating and uplifting one another in the journey, because we're all at a different spot in our crafting and decorating journey. So it's just to kind of cheer each other on and try out new projects and just get inspired. So thank you guys for everybody who's over there. I see your posts. I love seeing your posts. I wish I had time to like sit and just hang out with you guys all day long in the group, but then I would have no crafting done to share with you guys in these videos. So anyway, let me know though. I love to see what you guys are up to. Okay, also I have an Olivia's Romantic Home Instagram page. I share a good morning cup of coffee with you all every morning, as well as behind the scenes of my little crazy crafty mama life, sneak peeks of my DIY projects, and just fun things that I don't maybe share on here or on Facebook. So anyway, I love you guys to the moon and back. I'm hugging all of your hearts so tight. I can't wait for the next video. Again, don't forget to check out the rest of the I Love Fall playlist down below. We've done probably 30 DIY projects already. We did probably 100 over the last couple of years in all of my I Love Fall series. So all you guys have to do is click on the playlist and it will just roll into video after video of fall inspiration. And if you're Christmas crafting, I have a huge playlist of Christmas crafting on my YouTube channel as well. Okay, I love y'all to the moon and back. I can't wait for the next video. Remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. And until then, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
That I love you.